Hey guys, it's been a while. I'm not sure how to update you in a concise manner, but basically I want to talk about something today that happened yesterday at the gym. My dad lives with me right now. So anyway, he's been working out, he works out a lot, and he's been going to Planet Fitness. And my gym membership is expiring, so I'm looking for a new gym. And he's like, hey, you should come to my gym. Try it out. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And because they have these fun circuits there that my dad's really into, where it's like a red light, green light, like 20 stations, and every minute. So what happens is it'll turn green, you start the station, whatever machine it is, you do reps for a whole minute. Then it turns red, you have time to clean up the machine and get to the next station, then it turns green, you keep doing that. So my dad's gonna start and he's like, okay, you can start a minute after me. And I'm like, no, that's okay. I'll start on station 20, you start on 1, and then the next round you go to 2, I'll go to 1. That way we finish at the same time, we're right behind each other, and there's no one else here. It makes perfect sense. And that way I won't have to wait a minute for him to start, and he won't have to wait a minute after he finishes for me to finish. So we save a whole 2 minutes. I'm all about efficiency, except when I make videos I ramble. So we're about to start, and then my dad's personal trainer comes by, this young guy, a little younger than me probably, and he's like, kind of asking what I'm doing, and I explained to him, and then he's like, well, you could start a minute behind, just a minute behind him. And he didn't get, I think he understood that I wanted to save time, and it was just easier that way, but it's like I wasn't doing it the way that most people do it. I had a different, perspective, and he didn't like it. And he said something along the lines of like, oh, I teach classes, I know how it works here. Something that kind of, I can't remember exactly, but I was so like kind of in the moment. But it was something along the lines of, hey kid, like I'm a personal trainer, I know what I'm doing, don't challenge me. Don't challenge my authority, basically. And he looks at me, he's probably intimidated. Even though there's signs that say, no gym intimidation. It's all about like a judgment-free zone at Planet Fitness. We were judging each other, okay? It was serious. And, I look at him and I'm like, I'm not going to take advice from a guy who weighs like $130. My dad told me later he was a runner. Come on, I'm a runner, okay? I'm probably faster than him anyway. But he just had an attitude with me, And he probably looked at me and was intimidated because I look fitter than he did. And I probably was. And I was a free thinker. Once you get a certain level in anything where you're good at it, and you get confidence, and then you become a free thinker. You don't just listen to what everyone has to say. You kind of think you know what you're talking about. We were on the same page. We both had that same notion, except I wasn't trying to force anything on him. He was trying to, control me. Anyway, so there's a certain tension in the air, okay? And no, I'm not talking about sexual tension. Okay, I'm not talking about Jerry Springer, you stole my girlfriend tension. Okay, this was a unique type of tension, an alpha male tension, if you will. Now, many of you guys are probably thinking, well, what does that mean? Okay, well, let's analyze what constitutes as an alpha male. Whether you are aware of this or not, alpha males are everywhere. Okay. And these kind of confrontations can happen not only in the wild, the jungle, but also in society, okay? Now, an alpha male is basically two things, okay? First of all, they have to either be really talented at something or think they're good at something, okay? That's where they get their confidence from. And then two, they have to have other people validate their ego. People that buy into their hype, So basically having those two things so that you're the alpha and everyone that supports you or worships you or whatever, or sings your praises, are the betas, basically. In every group, you have the one alpha and a bunch of betas. That's it. You can't have two alphas because alpha and alpha would just clash, okay? And I'm not like, I didn't watch National Geographic, okay, to know this stuff, okay? It's just by basic human observation, okay? Plus, I'm an alpha, okay? So I know a thing or two about it. Now, alphas appear to have a lot of friends, but in reality, they don't. They're lone wolves because most of the people that surround alphas only are around them for a few reasons. Okay, one, they either are envious of their abilities or their physical attributes, whatever, so they want to be around it. Or they think that somehow being around them, they're going to learn something that's going to better themselves. Or a lot of times they find alphas entertaining, because we're entertaining. We're douchebags, but we're entertaining when we're that way. You know, so it's kind of like they want to be around that. And also, if you think about like celebrities, and people always want pictures with celebrities, even though they're just people, it's because they're highly regarded. So some people, like say someone wins a race, everyone's coming up to that person and be like, oh, how do you train? Like they want to be around that person. So they're very polarizing figures most of the time. And the thing is, anyone can be an alpha. It's mostly mentality, an inner confidence. And even if you start off as a beta, you can become an alpha. Okay, I've seen people, the nicest, sweetest, gentlest people, okay, and as soon as they get one taste of success, they're corrupted forever, and they become the biggest, dickwads around. It happens all the time. Okay, so no one is safe. Okay, now alphas, they are conceited by nature. Okay, they think that everyone is watching them, which is usually the case. But to have that preconceived notion, those self-absorbed thoughts, is rather remarkable. And they do everything in excess. Eating challenges, working out harder to show off. Like, it's always about, the grand gesture, basically. And they think that every Eminem song, The Way I Am, Lose Yourself, One Shot, One Opportunity, Soldier, Till I Collapse, they think every Eminem song is about them. Now I would say that being an alpha is both a blessing and a curse, because yeah, you kind of irritate people and rub people the wrong way. It's bound to happen. But also, if you look at it in history, like all the great athletes, they're all mostly alphas. Because it's almost a necessary trait for achieving the greatest plateaus or levels of success in anything, because you have that mentality where like everything you do, it's the end all be all of your existence, and you'll push yourself beyond the point of quitting. It's a special trait. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that, and it happens all the time. I can spot the other alphas too. It's interesting. I'm kind of like I'm obnoxious sometimes, but I am at least self-aware. I'll admit that sometimes I take things overboard and I'm too competitive with things. I'm trying to tone it down, but it's hard. It's like going against my basic instincts. So maybe the point of this video is really to take a hard look at yourself. Maybe you're an alpha, or alpha female. I mean, I'm sure that's a thing too. And this also helps, even if you're not an alpha, it helps you either avoid confrontations with alphas, or at least to better understand them. So that when they do something, you can be like, well, CC Runner told me that, alphas do this because, so I'm not gonna get mad at Johnny. It's not his fault.